Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinker with Tana. This week we are going to be working outside on the back patio. This is an item I designed a few months back, but I've had several requests of custom builds for some other people. So after doing that for some other people, I decided, well, let's do a video about this. Somebody else might want to build their own. It's a great, inexpensive patio shade that's very neutral. And what gave me the idea to do this with the drop cloth is my husband for years had just a painter's cloth hanging up out there, kind of sad looking. Being the drop cloth did so well in the Nevada sun, I decided to go ahead and buy a new one and make a nicer, more functional sunshade for the back patio. The painter's cloth at Harbor Freight is, you can get it from Lowe's or Home Depot, but at Harbor Freight, which is near me, it's under $8, $7 and some change for a 4x12 painter's cloth. And most patios, all the ones that I've measured are the same as mine, the ones that I've worked on. They're all about 12 inches deep. And then most people have some kind of fencing, so as the sun goes down, it'll end up hitting their fence and won't blind them anymore. So I've discovered that about 3.5 to 4 feet down is just enough to block the sun, but you can still enjoy your backyard and see a good portion of your backyard. It doesn't block completely. So let's get started on that. I will show you the items that you need. For this time, I did get the items at Lowe's, but I know Home Depot has them and many other hardware stores. Real simple, basic items, just eye hooks, some standard hardware. So when you get your drop cloth opened up, you'll need to get your sewing machine out, and you're going to sew about a 2.5 inch hem on the bottom, and then you only need about 1.5 inch hem on the top. And then once you've got your hem in both sides, one's going to be the top and one's going to be the bottom. So at the top side, you're going to put grommets every 4 feet. So on each end and then 4 feet apart. Then on the bottom side, you will just need grommet on 2 grommets on the end there, and because my pole is just 10 feet long, I am going to I put it about a foot in on well, on this one I didn't. It depends on how your patio setup is, but you'll put a grommet to secure it, and that keeps it from flapping in the wind. That's where you're going to anchor it down. You'll want to leave space to put the rod in. Yeah, the best thing is to start on one end and work your way to the other end. I'm going to use a drill bit that's just a little bit smaller than my screw. And just do a pilot hole. I like to use these safety hooks because as the wind blows, it'll keep my drop cloth from getting blown off my hook. Don't want to do these too tight because they are made in China and they're pop metal, so they do a good job as long as you don't snap the end off. So I snapped that first one on there. Now I'm going to work my way down and find my next spot. Just find the next spot, I pull it tight and mark the spot. while you're up here, you're going to put your eye hook to the outer side of the two inner safety hooks. We'll get to that part next on why you put those there. Now we've got our drop cloth on the safety hooks and hung. The next step will be to insert the conduit pipe in the bottom. And before we do that, we will go ahead and mark where we need to put our grommets to anchor it down. So this one had marked right there, and put a eye hook right there. And this end I marked right here and put a grommet in there, but I made sure there is room to put my conduit pipe in this bottom hem. So at Lowe's you can get this 10-foot conduit, and that's what I use to weigh down the bottom and give strength for the anchors to hold on to. So as you see here, I wanted to make sure that my conduit would still feed through there with the grommet right there. The best way to measure your cord is to loop it onto your eye hook, measure it down to the bottom, and then back up, and then you'll want to pull it all the way to the end, and then back down, over and down. And then I give yourself about 4 extra feet just in case. Okay, you're going to tie a loop in the end, and then you're just going to grab this through like this. So you have a little slip. Going to take that slip and hook it over that and pull it tight. So I secured this one on. It's behind my drop cloth. I'm going to reach down, pull it in front, and feed it through that eye hook. So now I've got that one wrapped around and fed through the eye hook, and this one wrapped around and fed through the eye hook. So now I need to take this string from the far one and feed it through that eye hook. So that far one is wrapped around and fed through the eye hook. Coming over here, this one's wrapped around and fed through the eye hook, and then this, they're both going through that eye hook. Now the next step is to pull this cord behind and find where I need to put my eye hooks in, where they're not rubbing on anything but the eye hook. So I've got my cording, and I've got a little bit of a cheat because I had these 2 hooks were already in there from prior things we were doing. So those kind of help guide it there. And then I put an eye hook here and an eye hook here. And from there it will go down to anchor it. Once you've got all your cording guided down with your eye hooks to where you want it, you will install this, and you want to pull secure on both, just so it's taut but you're not lifting your shade, and make sure both cords are equally taut, and then tie a knot about right here. So from my knot you'll see that I've got quite a length extra, which is good because we don't want it too short. So what I'm going to do is cut it about halfway down, tie those extra strings on there, and do some kind of macrame knots or braid it. About 1.5 feet in on this far end. What I did prior to hanging it up, I measured out where I could secure it to keep it held taut when the wind blows. So I put a grommet there, and I fashioned some rope and one of these hooks on, so that way, and I installed one of these eye hooks here, so that way when I have the shade down and the breeze is blowing, I can just anchor it right there, and that holds it secure on that end. And then on this end, I had, this end's close to the house, so I took advantage of, there was already some drills holed in the ground, so I put a little hook down there, and I looped some rope on there so it holds it tight on the pipe, so it's not putting a lot of stress on the fabric, it's on that pipe, and fashioned a hook so that anchors that end down securely for when the wind blows, it keeps it taut. To store this longer anchor cord, what I did is I made a loop out of the cording, and I did a stitch and just stitched it on to the inside of the seam there, and that way I can just hook it on there when I pull it up.